Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another theme park obsession video. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. As you can see behind me, I'm back at Knott's Berry Farm to have some fun. We're gonna cruise around the park, check up on some updates, maybe some Knott's Scary Farm stuff, and just have a good Knott's Berry Farm kind of day. So how about you and I dive right in. And just like that, we've made it back to good old Knott's Berry Farm, the friendliest place in the West. And pretty soon it's gonna be the scariest place in the West because they are preparing for Knott's Scary Farm. Yeah, see, people are already screaming behind me. On the other side of the entrance, you can see they have everything all set up. This is where one of the haunted houses will be located. We don't know what any of the new haunted houses will be, but we'll soon know because on August 24th, there'll be a scary event where they show off all the new goodies coming to Knott's Scary Farm. Tickets are sold out, by the way, for that event. So I'm very excited to see what they talk about because they made some really cool announcements at Midsummer Scream, but as far as new haunted houses, yeah, I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. Pretty easy entry process. Oh yeah, perfect timing with Silver Bullet right there. I think my first stop today is gonna be the Stagecoach. I'm gonna see how long that line is because I wanna get a good view of the Camp Snoopy project going on. Ooh, but before we do that, let's get a nice view of Silver Bullet coming in. She's coming down the first drop right now. Oh yeah, here it comes. So cool, it's one of my favorite spots to stand and watch it. One of my favorite inversions on the attraction as well. But now that we're done with that, let's head back to the front of the park. That way we can take a proper stroll through Ghost Town. It's a little busy in the park, some of the lines are quite long, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be right now. I do know for a fact that later on in the day, a lot more people will show up to enjoy the Knott Summer Nights. And our skeleton friends have not shown up just yet. I'm sure they'll start to show up here in the next few weeks. Right now, a lot of the backstage stuff is happening for Knott's Scary Farm. Oh, hello, gentlemen. It's nice to see you. I'm sure you guys are excited for Knott's Scary Farm as much as I am. Now, as far as Knott's Scary Farm work here in Ghost Town, the only thing that I'm noticing that's a little bit different is the addition of some lighting. Let's see what's going on over here at the Calico Gazette. It's a crime spree. Oh, my goodness. What is happening over here? Hopefully they can resolve the issue. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Here in Calico, you just never know what's going to happen. Something's happening right now.
However, I don't think hers is. It's just selling. I'm going to go talk to her at the post office. You mean the building that's right behind you? Yeah, the one that's right behind me. So why are we yelling?
Yeah, hopefully this crime spree is resolved. We wouldn't want Catawampus to get in any trouble either. Oh, something's going on over here at the town hall.
Guilty and should be thrown in jail. Well, I find you all guilty of attempting to be found guilty and of being a general public nuisance.
Okay, the crowd is moving. We're gonna follow the crowd. We're gonna see what's going on because there's a lot happening right now in Ghost Town. Also, some more Knott's Scary Farm lighting right there. Oh my goodness, people got thrown in jail. Well, it sounds like, from my understanding, that all those folks were guilty of being guilty. That's it. So yeah, I mean, that's a pretty serious crime. Yeah, you gotta be careful here in Calico. You gotta follow the rules, obey the law, because you just never know what might happen. You don't wanna get yourself into trouble with the wrong people. Over here at the Wilderness Dance Hall, things look the same like in the last video. There's really no visible changes on this haunted house. And I'm not really expecting anything until we get closer to the opening of Knott's Scary Farm. Now, I don't have time today, but man, oh man, is it a perfect day to ride Calico River Rapids. And you know, everyone else has had the same idea. That line is pretty lengthy. Someone mentioned in a comment in my last video here at Knott's Berry Farm, and they were wondering when the waterfalls were gonna turn back on. And I'm kind of wondering the same thing, especially on days like this when it's super hot. You used to go right underneath this waterfall and just get completely drenched. It was really cool. So maybe one of these days they'll bring it back. Continuing my journey, made my way into the boardwalk. Remember always to stay hydrated, especially on hot days like today. You don't want to pass out. Nobody working on Accelerator today just because of the time of recording this video. It is a Sunday, so I wasn't expecting anybody to be here. But hopefully work is ongoing on the coaster so they can get this thing open very, very soon. Still fingers crossed for an opening for Knott's Scary Farm. Over here in Fiesta Village, it looks like Revolution is down for refurbishment. It was down last time I was here, so hopefully they'll get it open soon. And then over here at Montezuma's Revenge, work is still continuing on the refurbishment. It's pretty unfortunate with Montezuma's Revenge. I was really hoping that they would get it open in time for the grand reveal of Fiesta Village. But you know, with delays and a few other things in the mix, it does make things very difficult. And then also teaming that up with the Accelerator closure and that whole issue going on over there. I could see why in the latest earnings call from Cedar Fair that they did report a slight decrease in attendance, but the revenue was really good, which is nice to see. But I can see it why the attendance is not where they would want it to be, just because, I mean, yeah, some major attractions are closed right now, and when you have those attractions closed, it does make sense as to why people are not going to come to the park, especially if it's an attraction that they really love, you know? So I'm hoping here in the next few months, we'll see some more activity on Accelerator and Montezuma's Revenge. I think we will. The park and the company has made it pretty obvious that they do want to get those attractions open as quickly as they can. And on top of that, they have some really exciting things in the pipeline. Clearly, they're working on something new for Camp Snoopy, and this is a big space, and we've covered it for the past couple of weeks here on the channel. And yeah, I mean, I'm really stoked for this. Camp Snoopy could use something brand new. It's been a few years, and I think the space is large enough for something quite substantial. And speaking of the project right behind me, I got a really good view from the stagecoach ride a little bit earlier on. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to ride it, because I wanted to check out just the project, and thankfully we were able to get a nice view inside. And Timberline Twister is completely gone, the camp bus is completely gone, and again, it's just crazy to see a space completely vacant. You know, we're seeing the same thing at Universal Studios Hollywood because they're building a new roller coaster there. And then here at Knott's Berry Farm, yeah, it's like you kind of roll on by and you go, dang, that's actually a pretty big spot. So I'm really curious to see what they announce. I'm sure we'll get an announcement maybe later on this year as to what this could be. The speculation online is that it's going to be another kids roller coaster, and if that's true, then that would be pretty cool, because I think Camp Snoopy could use another little kids roller coaster. They took out Timberline Twister, so I feel like the next logical step would be to replace that with a newer aged roller coaster. But like always, nothing is official until the company makes it official. So for all I know, behind me, they could be building an underwater aquarium. They could be building a giant 800-foot tall roller coaster, or maybe a Spirit Halloween is going in here. You just never know. And on a side note, I'm glad they didn't really block this area off, because I just love kind of sitting over here, not only to do my segments for the channel, but it's just nice to sit next to a water feature and feel really relaxed and calm. Camp Snoopy does a really good job with the relaxation vibes. Going back to the earnings call that was just the other day, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Some people on social media go way out of proportion on the earnings calls for a lot of these theme park companies. I just think it's another speed bump. It happens all the time. It happens with all companies, and I don't even think this speed bump that Cedar Fair is going through is that major, to be honest. I mean, Knott's Berry Farm, as far as their parks go, I feel like Knott's Berry Farm is the one that brings in a lot of the money. I feel like Knott's Berry Farm, Cedar Point, parks like that will bring in and generate tons of revenue. You gotta remember, Knott's Berry Farm stays open all year long. It doesn't close like a lot of the other Cedar Fair parks around the world, so around the country, I should say. So I feel like that's why at Knott's Berry Farm, we see the park just as a flagship destination, because yeah, I mean, it's bringing them in so much money. So I don't think anything's going to be bad for Knott's Berry Farm. I think Knott's Berry Farm over the next few quarters is going to keep receiving good things. I think they're going to open up Montezuma's Revenge and Accelerator as quickly as they can, like I was saying. The parks that, generate some good revenue, but don't generate nearly as much as, say, Knott's Berry Farm, Cedar Point, King's Dominion, or Carowinds. I feel like we're going to start seeing maybe some things at Michigan's Adventure. Obviously, they're going to be doing some stuff with California's Great America over the next few years because that park will be closing here in the next, I think it was like less than 10 years now, I think. So I think those are the places that we got to really be paying attention to when it comes to the Cedar Fair chain. But, you know, as far as Knott's Berry Farm, I feel like Knott's Berry Farm is going to continue to flourish just because of its proximity to Disneyland. A lot more people are discovering this park and how awesome it really is. I mean, Knott's Berry Farm, I have fun every single time I'm here. And this is definitely a sign of that. This is a sign of continued investment. Even if things at the other parks are not where they want it to be, they still kind of eyeball their flagship destinations. And I think that's why we're seeing some development here in Camp Snoopy. Yeah, I don't really talk too much about the financial side of things on the channel. Every so often I do. And I do like listening to those earnings calls when I do have time. And yeah, Cedar Fair just had theirs the other day. I'm sure, I don't know if Six Flags has had theirs already, but Disney, Six Flags, and Comcast will all do the same thing as well. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch the Parks and Resorts divisions around the world to see what the crowd's doing, because the crowd does change over time. The attendance figures change, revenue changes, people's mindset changes because things are expensive. So yeah, you got to follow you know, what the family's doing, and it's interesting to watch for sure. But let's continue our journey though. Oh yeah, this is so pretty, especially today. Oh look, there's like a couple butterflies over there. And then since I'm over here in Camp Snoopy, here's your latest look at what Montezuma's Revenge looks like from this side going up to the balloon race. Yeah, I don't know if crews are working on this at all right now, or if they're gonna wait until after haunt season. I'm sure Knott's is allocating crews to certain areas. Oh, there goes Jaguar. Oh, wow. Again, see, look at that. All the ghosts from the Haunted Mansion are taking a spin on it. You see, I always want to make it very clear that they don't just enjoy Disneyland. They come over here to Knott's Berry Farm too and ride all these rides. I mean, yeah, why not? Jaguar is awesome. But anyways, they could be, you know, allocating crews to different areas, especially if they want some of these crews to work on Knott's Scary Farm stuff. So maybe that's why we're not really seeing too much here on the coaster. But yeah, I mean, I'll continue to keep an eye on it. And since I have the dining plan, I decided to make a little pit stop over here to get a nice chicken Caesar salad. And the dressing is on the side, which is cool. That way I can control how much is going on in there. And yeah, sounds pretty good. So I'm gonna dive right into that. Yeah, you could save yourself like a bunch of calories if you're trying to watch that just by asking for the dressing on the side for any of the salads. Most places at theme parks will have the dressing in like a separate package, but then other places will have it like tossed into the salad. Just ask for it on the side, and that way, yeah, it'll save you a bunch. Yeah, it always bugs me when you go get like a salad somewhere, especially at a theme park, and they like drench it in dressing, and it's like it becomes soggy very, very fast. Yeah, it's like one of my pet peeves. Like, I don't like getting a salad that's just so runny with dressing. It's kind of gross. Oh, so yeah, see, even the train agrees. But yeah, having the dressing on the side is the way to go. And yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with a salad on a nice day like today. It's super refreshing, actually. Oh, well, that was tasty, but it's time to continue our journey. And by the way, the location is called Grizzly Creek Lodge right here in Camp Snoopy. They're still working on the Woodstock's airmail refurb. We'll keep an eye on this in the coming weeks. And then over here at the unannounced Knott's Scary Farm maze, work still continues. Oh yeah, I am so excited. This is really huge too. This one is massive, so cannot wait to find out what this is gonna be. I got a pretty good look from the stagecoach as well. There's just a few little parts that I could see, and there weren't really too many details. There's still a lot of work to be done before the grand opening of Knott's Scary Farm, which is in the middle of September, so they still have plenty of time to get some things done. And this one is trucking along pretty nicely though. They've been working very, very fast. It's funny when you look at it, and especially when you kind of cruise over it on the stagecoach ride, it doesn't really look like they're gonna be able to finish in time, but trust me, they always do. They work so hard on all these haunted houses. So shout out to the build crew that puts these things together. And with that, we've made it all the way back up to the front of the park again. Silver Bullet's coming, don't worry. Don't you worry, I got that shot of Silver Bullet coming in here, just a second. But yeah, that was a fun day at the park. Nice to do a lap around, see what's going on this week. Some exciting things continue to happen in Camp Snoopy. And of course, Knott's Scary Farm is quickly approaching, just like this coaster is. Oh yeah, that doesn't get old. But I gotta continue the tradition here. We gotta do a little lap in Virginia's gift shop. And there's also one more thing I gotta talk about. Christmas, what the heck are you doing in here? No, we're not doing this. Oh yeah, that's more like it. That is more like it. Now remember, I have to be quiet in here because, you know, it's not because it's a quiet store. It's because Bigfoot is in here. And we just don't want to disturb Bigfoot. Oh, look at this. They moved the Department 56 display for Halloween over here. Oh, sick. This is awesome. Yeah, this, I can look at this all day. I showed it off in my last video. And then, you know why the reason it's over here? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but there's a reason why they put this over here in Virginia's gift shop. And if you're wondering how I'm gonna show up to Knott's Scary Farm, this is the pose that I'm gonna do right when we walk in. As far as merchandise goes, it's kind of the same old stuff. I don't think this is really gonna change until we start seeing some Knott's Scary Farm goodies. But until then, they still have all of the Festive Village stuff. They have some umbrellas. And then they also have some of the classic, like Knott's Berry Farm stuff. And this is why the Department 56 stuff is over in Virginia's gift shop, because the Emporium is being transformed into a Knott's Scary Farm, like, tribute store. They talked about this at Midsummer Scream, and boy, oh boy, is this gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be massive, by the way. I'll try to find some concept art if I can. But the interior of this is going to be spectacular for the 50th anniversary. The rooms are going to be so detailed, similar to what we've seen over at Universal Orlando. They do a really good job with the gift shops over there for the different seasons, and Knott's is going to be doing, I feel like, just above and beyond with this one. In general, I think Knott's is going to knock it out of the park with that store. I am so looking forward to it. It's not even a haunted house, and I'm just as excited for that store as I am some of the new haunted houses. Making my way back to the car. Oh yeah, it's going to be nice to enjoy a little bit of AC back in my car, because yeah, it's a little spicy outside, but it was a fun day. If you enjoyed today's video, let me know by smashing that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos from Knott's Berry Farm or some of your other favorite theme parks, consider subscribing, because I have brand new videos every single week. Be sure to check out my socials by following the links down below in the description. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.